Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. That's awesome. Just so everybody knows, I'm in Starbucks in Big Bear. This is where my car stopped, and I'm like, I gotta go live. My alarm's going off. So forgive me. I know I look like a hot mess, but I've been on the road all morning. Okay. There's some things we're going to talk about, you guys, that we need to talk about regarding the new laws and the new. I know stuff before something's going to happen. Okay. Let me see who's on here really quick. We have moratoriums that are going to hit us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was looking to see if Arlene made it on today, or she could help talk to us. In LA County, don't be shocked if we end up with a rent freeze. Okay. Not trying to freak you out. I'm trying to keep it real. Okay. I got a feeling we're going to be hit with a moratorium either today or tomorrow. Patty, what are you talking about? A moratorium. COVID's over. Moratorium means temporary law. The reality is we got a lot of owners price gouging during the state of emergency. So let me tell you guys something, because we don't look good in orange. Okay. California Penal Code 396, paragraph B specifically names rental housing as being part of price gouging during a state of emergency. You know, we have an earthquake in the affected area, and all the way around it, all the little liquor stores and gas stations charge $20 for a gallon of water and $20 for batteries. This is what stops that from happening. Once a state of emergency is declared, they can't raise prices over 10%, or they're looking at a $10,000 fine and 6 months in jail. With that being said, we as a community need to pull together and help our fellow citizens and find them housing, not try to fill up our buckets while the grunting are running. I know AGLA has pulled a lot of listings off of the general public and is only advertising them on their website specifically, so it's only helping fire victims. So we have a lot of AGLA members that AGLA has asked them to pull their listings from whenever they were advertising and advertise them on AGLA to the fire victims. People that have been having trouble getting their houses rented, houses are renting off that website like hotcakes. I think they have one house available right now, quite a few apartments. So if you have a house for rent and you really want to get it rented, I strongly suggest and highly recommend you list it for rent on AGLA's website. They don't advertise rentals normally. They're doing this for the fire victims, okay? And I'll tell you this, the fire victims know about it and they're renting them as quickly as they're hitting that avenue. So if you're having difficulty, stop banging your head against the wall. One thing I can tell all of you, don't raise your rent. Don't raise your rent, don't raise rent, don't raise rent. Meaning don't do any increases over 10%. If you have a vacant unit, I know supply and demand is really good right now, but it's not the opportunity for us to take to fill up our buckets. If you're gonna advertise a vacant for rent, you can do that, but don't do any rent increase over 10%, or you could be looking at an orange jumper and no widgets wait for 6 months, okay? Because I don't think they're gonna let you live stream me in the pokey. So this isn't an opportunity for us to make money necessarily. It's an opportunity for us to fill up our vacant unit. That's how I want you to look at it, okay? It'll help us stop the bleeding. The price gouging during a state of emergency isn't a joke. They're gonna start pulling them off of Zillow. They're warning you when you advertise on Trulia and these other places, watch for the state of emergency. I'm letting you know, if you already had a house listed for rent for $7 grand a month and then fires happened and the rent's $7 grand, that's okay. Leave it at $7 grand. Just don't increase it. That's where you get yourself into trouble. And you guys, I don't care what anybody says. We don't look good in orange. Okay, I promise. One more thing. Yes, I would like, hang on folks, 1 minute, please. I would like a venti iced chai tea.
Iced chai tea.
And I got it. Okay. I was gonna give you my Starbucks card.
Okay.
Sorry guys, we really did take up Starbucks. So really important that we talk about raising prices more than 10%. A lot of people are doing it. I'm looking on Zillow and Julia, and I'm seeing where they've done a rent increase and where the prices, we don't do that, folks. No. What we're gonna do is we're gonna help these fire victims by then advertising on Agla's website. So, oh, here comes Arlene. She's gonna talk to us too, okay? I know she is, because her and I had a in-depth conversation with no words yesterday. It kind of went like this. Told you they were gonna. Hi, Arlene. We're gonna talk about the moratorium because we know it's gonna hit us today or tomorrow. And I'm not in a position where I can look up the email that we got that I forwarded to you so you could look at it, because I know you were diligently working on your rent increases of this past week before the fires hit. So
Correct.
can you please tell us about the email I sent to you, just because I don't have the capability of looking at it at the moment?
Yeah, give me a minute because I got to plug my phone and I'm losing juice. So just give me
No
a
worries.
talk about something else and then I'll look it up on my computer.
You're fine, Arlene. You're fine.
Okay.
We all love you. It's okay. Just
Okay,
so
I'm working on
everybody knows, she's been running from these fires. She's been evacuated. She's been dancing around them, and all this time taking care of her elderly mother. So God love her for still keeping in the loop, keeping in the know, and being in the trenches, so to speak, of running from these wildfires that are going on. And just so you guys know, I was in LA on Thursday, and I was in the general vicinity of where the fires were going. I don't want to say I was in the heat of the moment, because I wasn't. But I will tell you that I laid in the back of a car in frustration. It happened to be a Tesla, and I don't know if you guys have been in one, but they're all clear on the inside. They're like windows. You can see out completely. It's awesome. But I laid there in the back of the car frustrated because I went there to do a cash for keys and help assist. I wasn't doing it, I was assisting. And it didn't happen, and that was frustrating for me. First time in my career, I wasn't successful in helping with the cash for keys. So I was very frustrated at myself, but at the same time, the alternative was better for the landlord anyway. So it worked out great, but I myself was frustrated. I'm human. I'm just like you guys. We get frustrated, right? So I'm kind of slouched backwards in this Tesla, looking up at the ceiling, taking some cleansing breaths because I wanted to punch these tenants. And I can't. So I was calming myself down because, you know, I have to act as this professional, right? But I am human. And I just sat there for about 20 seconds, taking some deep breaths, watching it rain ash all over the car. And it took me 2.2 seconds to decompress because I realized that's someone's house, that's someone's photographs, that's someone's livelihood raining down on me. And I can't even tell what it is. God knows they can't. So with that being said, I have had a plethora of you guys contact me and say, Patty, I got vacant units. Patty, I want to help. How can I help? Go to Agla, okay? And I'll let you know if anything else evolves out of that. We're trying to do direct assistance straight to the people in need. My nephew actually lives in that area. There is a whole band of a neighborhood that has gotten together and started their own email, and they've congregated together as residents, because they're not all tenants. A lot of them are homeowners, remember? And they're trying to build a resource page with direct help, because sometimes when it filters through the powers that be, too many people's hands are in the cookie jar, and the amount of funding you give isn't the amount of funding that the victim gets. So we want to do a better pass through so it goes straight through and nobody's hands in the jar, okay? Not trying to get involved in a whole new industry. I'm just trying to be helpful where I can.
I have it.
You
I
have
have
it?
it, Patty.
Okay. There is a potential moratorium that is going to be, and God love Patty for having her foot in the door, okay, and knowing what's coming at us. Here's a tip. This is about what's ready to come at us. Go ahead, Arlene.
Yeah, this came at 5:24 last night. forthcoming governor executive order. Our state lobbyist sent us this alert. The governor's office just called to give us, and this is to AGLA, give us a heads up that there will be another executive order coming out of the governor's office tonight or tomorrow, meaning today. There have been ongoing conversations about banning any rent increases or evictions in Los Angeles and Ventura counties, whether to make it a year or longer, but they settled on March 8th of this year. This
For
will
now.
be,
For now.
yeah, which I need clarification of that, because what does that mean?
There-
Let me
that
finish
means-
this and then,
Hold on. I'll tell you exactly what that means, because everybody has the same question. That means there will be a temporary law banning evictions, which means no sheriff lockouts, no evictions, no rent increases, and that law will be in place until March the 8th.
right, which we know they'll extend.
Okay, you said it, not me, then please plant that seed, because of a lot of us are gonna think it's gonna be over in March. And Arlene, you and I know it won't be.
No,
This is gonna be 6 months to a year of new bureaucracy and bullshit.
it's going to be COVID all over again. There will be part of a larger executive order on temporary housing, which I will circulate once released. It is my understanding that the renters do not have to be impacted by the wildfires to benefit from these protections. So
Do you
we
know
are
why? Let me
up-
explain the why. Why
up a
doesn't the
creek.
tenant have to be affected by this for it to protect everybody? Because it happened within the county. So the protection goes into the county. And let's talk about this out loud, okay? Arlene, and I'm gonna give an example and use you because you're one of my good friends and we can do this with each other, okay? You live in the fire zone. You were burned out, okay? And I'm just talking out loud. I don't wish this on anybody. I'm role playing right now, okay? And you need to move. Where are you going? You're going to somebody else's house within the county. You have family members there, yeah? You could go to your mom's. You can go somewhere else. Well, now that person has been affected by you incoming, okay? So they weren't directly affected by the fire, but now they have all these other people in their own home that they've taken in because of the fire. So now they've been affected. It affects their income because they're buying extra food. I'm being honest with you. You hear me so you understand, not this way, tunnel vision, but this way, okay? Big picture. If Arlene leaves her house in LA County because she got evacuated and she goes to her mom's house in LA County, now her mom has been affected by the state of emergency because she has more people in her home. She's spending more money on food, on utilities, and she has become a victim of that state of emergency by helping her own family. I hope that helps you understand why they will give protections to everyone within the county claiming they're victims. Look at it this way. A lot of them couldn't go to work a couple days after, so they were affected. Okay, okay. Oh, see how this works? Okay, if they were affected, they're affected. So just broaden the scope, take it on the whole county, and know that the whole county is gonna take the brunt of that. They'll also throw Ventura County in this because of this fire that happened there. And just so everybody knows, that fire that broke out in Ventura broke out one parcel over from the guy that does the repairs on my boat. He almost lost his entire boat repair business. One parcel over, and the wind was blowing the wrong direction. Otherwise, it would have taken him out. And why am I saying this? Because if you don't know somebody that's been affected by the fires, start talking to more of your friends. You're gonna find that you know lots of people that were affected. Lots. My nephew has, he was involved in the Pasadena School District, okay? He was their head IT for decades. He left in 2024. And he has 11 friends in the industry. And friends of his, these are gonna be tech people, these are gonna be that kind of thing, so they have jobs, they have careers, not jobs. He has 11 people that have been displaced. They've lost their homes entirely. And then we have one family member that did not lose her home. It is the only home standing on her street in the city of Pasadena. And the amount of smoke damage, and we don't know about water damage because I asked her if she had skylights. She said yes. Skylights are a problem in the event of a major fire because the pressure from the water being dropped on them will break the skylight, and now you're dealing with water damage. So with that said, I don't know what kind of damage she's gonna have at her home. She's not allowed to go back there at this time. She hasn't been able to go assess anything. I know we're gonna be calling a restoration company. It's just so up in the air. There's so many questions. I've watched a lot of people get safes open and start crying immediately and hugging the firemen because all of their baby photos were in there, or their kids' stuff, and amen to the fire safe, okay? No joke. If you don't own one, you may want to consider owning one, okay? I could even tell you, go buy it at Tractor Supply, do it on Black Friday. It's least expensive then. I'm not joking. Safes do more than hold guns, okay? All right, I'm gonna turn the volume up. I hope I can hear you guys. I know we got questions because people have been affected. If you're in San Bernardino County, still list your house for rent with AGLA and ask them, and I'll tell you why. And hear me out, okay? Remember my family member I'm talking about? She owns a house in Pasadena. She works in Duarte. So if she's got to live somewhere else for a year, makes more sense for her to live near Duarte, not Pasadena. Makes sense? Some of the people affected by the fires may be law enforcement or medical providers in San Bernardino, and they commute. So it doesn't hurt. And then there's some people that lost their home and their jobs. Just saying. And then I have owners that say, hey, Patty, we want to help. We're going to go buy furniture and furnish our vacant unit. Stop. Don't put yourself in a bad financial position trying to help someone else. Remember, they have insurance. Their insurance company is going to reimburse them for buying brand new furniture. Okay? Deep breath. Don't be in a hurry to go spend money to help when you may just be spinning your own wheel. The biggest thing you can do to help right now is put your vacant, pull it off everywhere you're advertising it and put it on AGLA's site. Because we are only advertising directly to the fire victims through AGLA, okay? We are not dealing with the general public, which means you won't have Section 8 applicants. Wink, 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 wink. Okay? We're trying, guys. We're trying. So I would do that. Don't be in a hurry to go buy them food or to get in those food lines for food and water. If you pay attention and watch those food lines on TV, look at who's walking through them. Most of the people that were affected by these fires are people that are middle class, not low class. Middle class or upper class. So we're not seeing a struggle as if we would if these fires were to break out in low income areas. And that's not the case. There are some low income areas that were affected by this. There's plenty of resources. I don't have to tell you guys, you see the news, you see that there's maybe 10 people walking through this huge establishment, giving out water and clothes and canned food, and see, and here comes all this stuff trying to help you guys. Love you, Arlene. Thank you. She's telling you where to go to get hotel furniture discounted in the event you need to furnish. Because you may have an applicant say, I lost everything in the fire. I don't even have a couch to sit on. Get on here. Let's talk about it, you guys. I'm willing to make a forum board of, hey, I have an extra dresser, I have an extra couch, but I honestly don't think we're gonna need to do that, okay? I've got a feeling their insurance companies are gonna kick in. And the quicker we can get them housed, the better off they're gonna be. I don't think that this catastrophic event will annihilate the insurance companies, even though there's multi-million-dollar mansions that are gonna get claims. I still don't think it was bad enough, okay? This isn't gonna take out the insurance company. Calm down, we don't have to worry about that, okay? Deep breath. They have food. They have insurance for the most part. They're being put in hotels. Travelocity is offering hotel discounts on hotels to fire victims. I will tell you this. I've noticed something shady going on with hotels. You know how they can't raise their price over 10% to take advantage of the situation? What they are doing is requiring a 3-night minimum. If you only need a room for one night, that sucks. Arlene is putting resources in, you guys. If you need them, utilize them. They are in the text field. She's giving us who to contact, where to go. And if you want to help somebody directly, I'm not being a jerk. My nephew lived there for decades. He was the head IT tech for the Catholic school district for Pasadena. Okay. He has friends there. We have family there. We're doing everything we can to help people directly. But for the most part, we're not dealing with a bunch of renters. We are dealing with a bunch of owners that have lost their homes. They lost everything. Okay. And for those of us that want to help, reach out to me. Like I said, I will put you in contact with AGLA. I'm not trying to start a new business. Okay. I'm not. Meaning I'm not trying to start this funding organization. But if I end up doing it to help get it where it needs to go, I'm okay with that. But I'm not trying to. That is what
So-
I'm
Patty, if I didn't renew my membership with AGLA, I can still just call them and renew it and list the property there?
I would highly suggest it.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. I've watched over 60 single family residences rent within 3 days. The last time I looked was last night. They had one single family house available and probably about 15 apartment units. When I first looked, they had about 60 single family homes because the board members are opening their homes now trying to help. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But I would reach out to AGLA. They're doing a great job. And for the most part, look at it this way. It's not being advertised to the general public. So you're not dealing with things like third-party payment programs to get them in. You're dealing with the insurance company is going to pay their deposit and the rent for the first year. Hello. Hello. Okay. If they lost everything, ask them. If you want to do something more to help, how can I help you? And I'm not suggesting you guys all go out and buy furniture. Let's face it, these fire victims are going to be in your unit for probably about 2 years, if I had to guess. With that being said, that's 2 years of wear and tear on that furniture. So when they leave, now you have a house full of used furniture. How did that help you? I get it. You want to help. You want to help? Advertise your unit there. And in all fairness, what it's doing is helping all of our owners that can't rent their vacants because they're getting swooped up quickly. Okay. Do not go buy a house full of furniture. Remember, these people are insured. Their insurance company is going to buy them a whole house full of furniture and a new refrigerator and all. You get me? Okay. I know you want to help, but slow down. We're all going to help in due time. It just hasn't come yet of what we need to do. For now, we can offer vacant housing. They need clothes, but these are middle-class people. They're in a position where they can go buy them, right? They can go buy food. They're eating out right now, and a lot of them don't like that. A lot of them have diet restrictions. So they're looking for having to eat out at organic restaurants, which you and I both know are ridiculously expensive. So now do I get into a hotel that has a kitchenette in it, or do I just find a house to rent? Because I know I'm going to be there for at least a year. At least. You're probably looking at 2.
Patty, so then
Yes.
we can still do rent increases if we're located in the IE or San Bernardino County, correct? As long as we're at less than 10%?
I am not going to answer that question until the moratorium is issued. Because I
Okay.
don't know what counties it's gonna cover. And hear me out. Yesterday, I drove down to San Bernardino to have a meeting with an attorney, okay? On my way back up, there's a golf course in San Bernardino off the 210 where the 210 and the 215 meet, roughly right by the college. That whole hillside was on fire when I was driving past it. And as I was driving past it, watch duty was alerting me that there was a fire. And I think they got it all out. It was at 35 acres. But I'll tell you, I don't know if the powers that be are going to protect San Bernardino County because of that. As far as I know, no structures were damaged. It was a vegetation fire. However, my crystal ball is broken and I don't know. So I'm going to tell you, let's wait until the moratorium passes and see what it actually says. They gave us a just of they're going to put a freeze on evictions. It's bullshit. Bullshit. You know what? They've been evicted. They're in the process. They should be locked out. This should happen. This shouldn't stall it out. It's garbage. And it makes me mad. But starting a new eviction, I could see not starting a new one. But finishing the old one, absolutely.
So Patty, the moratorium will be, well, quote unquote, over, or we'll know whether or not IE can do rent increases on March 8th, correct?
No, I will know in the next few days whether or not you're going to be affected by the moratorium that I know is going to affect Los Angeles County and most likely Ventura County. But I think they're waiting to announce the state of the moratorium to see if we have more fires come about. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And then Belsey sent me, I think on accident, she sent me a message when she meant to send it to everyone. So I'm just going to copy and paste it and send it to you. And
Okay.
those are Belsey's questions.
Thank you. I love the fact that we're all attending together. You guys have no idea. I got to turn my head or turn sideways. If we're in San Bernardino County, can we still do rent increases? I'm not going to answer that until Monday. No joke, because I don't know when their moratorium is going to be listed. It'll probably come out today or tomorrow. And I don't know what it's going to say. So I don't want to tell you yes, and then I'm wrong. Okay, I'd rather err on the side of caution and answer your question on Monday. Question, in the city of Los Angeles, landlord owns a lot with 3 commercial units, 2 apartments, 2 houses. The owner's selling it and the tenant is telling the owner that they must get some compensation for renting the property for 10 years. The owner wants to increase rent, and in case he understands, to pay for relocation fees equal to 1 month's rent. It depends on where the city, it's in the city of Los Angeles, but is it subject to LARSO or is it exempt? If it's exempt from LARSO, which I think that's what you're going to tell me is it's exempt, then state law would apply to it, or unincorporated LA County, depending on where the address is. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Run the address through stayhousela.org. And I know you know what I'm talking about, but run it through there and see what rules govern it, okay? And you guys are so sweet to each other. I love you guys. No rent increases, only in the city of Los Angeles. What about Inland Empire and OC? Again, I don't want to answer the question. Look at it right now. Right now in LA City, you can do a rent increase. Right now in LA County, you can do a rent increase. But I have a feeling in the next 72 hours, we're going to see a temporary law get put on us that we can't do rent increases within the county and that we can't do evictions. That's specifically what it says is evictions and rent increases. And Arlene was talking out loud saying they're going to want to extend this, but they couldn't figure out for how long. So for now, that law will, whatever the freeze is going to go to March 8th. On March 7th, mark my words, and Arlene will vouch for me, they will extend it before it expires. Because 3 months isn't enough time for the catastrophe at hand. Just remember, the majority of victims that this has affected has been the middle class. And I can't say that to you enough. They're not standing on the side of the road starving with no water to drink and no clothes on their back is what I'm trying to put in your head, because that's the reality of the situation. Okay?
Patty,
Yes.
since my tenants got their rent increase, they should be receiving it, I guess, today for March 1st. So if they say March
If
8th
the
and it's hold,
moratorium
if it is
passes,
hold, do I
you will
have,
have to rescind.
no, but no, I understand that. But will I have to give them another 30-day notice?
Okay, if you served a notice for a rent increase yesterday and the law comes out tomorrow that we can't do rent increases, that rent increase automatically gets rescinded by law. You cannot enforce it, you have to redact it. So once the moratorium ends, then you can serve a new notice after 30 days. Nope, not 30 days. My bad, I shut up. That's a state of emergency. You have 30 days after the state of emergency, and then you could do a rent increase over 10% and not get in trouble. So almost cross those two laws. Sorry.
No, but if I want it, let's just say, so my March 1st is no longer valid. Now
Well,
it'll be,
okay.
let's just
Okay.
play this out. Okay, so now it's March 8th. So if I do 30 days before March 8th plus 5 for mailing, I can't send it?
I'm gonna tell you because it's LA and I know how some of those judges are. I'm gonna tell you to wait till March the 9th to send the notice, because then you didn't even send it while we were in a protected anything. But I'm not gonna answer that until we get closer to that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's
Because
just.
Arlene, you and I both know they're gonna extend it.
Yeah, I know.
And right now, just so you guys know, they're fighting not to even issue it. And they were fighting to have this go for a year, no evictions and no rent increases. And AGLA went to bat for you guys, just so you know, and fought and fought and fought, and only got a 3-month moratorium, which is way better than what they were asking for. 1 year of no evictions. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
COVID all over me.
COVID 3.4. Sorry. All right. Do I have more questions? Because I know there's all kinds of moving pieces and I just don't want to focus on fires today. I just know that that's an issue at hand that I want to address so that I get all your questions answered. And if your tenant is coming to you as a resource, because you guys, some of them think of us as like these holier than thou people of, oh, that's my landlord. You know, we need more of those kind of tenants. But some of them do reach out to us. You've been watching what's going on. You have a home in that area. You can direct them and refer them to what they need. You can. Just take a deep breath. Don't steer them wrong. What if that was you? What if that was me calling you going, hey, my house is burning down. I'm headed to LA. Does anybody have a place I could stay? And all of you, every single one of you, I already know would say, I'm not renting to you, Patty. No way. I'd be sleeping in my car in Agla's parking lot. Could you give me the website again where I can check the properties in LA County? It's stayhousedla.org. And it is a tenant-based website. Stayhousedla.org. And then it'll say, do you have an eviction notice? Well, don't click on anything. Wait, listen to me. There's a little black spot that says the eviction process. Click on that. It'll then load another screen where it'll ask, it has a bunch of questions. Scroll down and it'll say laws for your area. And then type in the address there. Okay, that'll give you everything within LA County. If you're outside of the county, that website will not help you at all. No problem, Kelsey. Teamwork, guys, teamwork. All right. Oh, anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Does anybody have properties that were affected by the fire? And I'm not talking about smoke or ash damage or water damage. I'm talking about, did you have a loss? Did any one of our members lose a home in this fire? The answer to the question is yes, just not in this meeting, just so you all know. Okay? We have a Widget's Way member that lost 2 homes in the fire, her rental and her primary residence. She's got good insurance. We immediately got her rehoused in an apartment. It's what worked for the time being. We put her in there on a 30 days, so she's only in there on 30 days. So she's 30 days in an apartment. She did get to save both her dogs and her cat. And all she has is the clothes she walked out of the house with. And all of her insurance policies and legal documents. And let me tell you guys this, okay? I have a friend in South Carolina from those floods, okay? They still haven't gotten the $750 from FEMA because they can't prove that she lived there. They can't obtain her residency, okay? She owned the house. She owned the mortgage. She can't get the $750 because they can't verify that she's a resident of the area. It's on her driver's license. It's everywhere. So what they told her is, we need a utility bill. In the event you guys get evacuated for fire, grab your bills too as you run out the door. Either that or if you're running past the mailbox, open it, pull out your mail and run with it, okay? You might need it. Also, if you're applying for benefits or you know someone that's applying for benefits, you guys need to know this. I'm gonna spread it like cancer because we all need to spread it. If people are applying for benefits and they have roommates at an address, it is gonna take the first application of the roommate that first applies and deny everybody else unless they put unit numbers behind the address. Got it? So if you have a single family home and you're renting 4 rooms in it, and the first person goes and applies on FEMA's website first for emergency assistance, that's gonna take that address. If the other 3 roommates individually go apply, it's going to deny them because that address is already in the system. So what you need to do is put a unit number behind it. Unit A, Unit B, Unit C, Unit D. Are you following along? And that's how their applications then get approved. Spread this information like cancer, you guys, because anything we can do to help our community, I'm all about it. And come on, what if that was us? We'd want to know all the tips and tricks, right? So share them openly. All right, let me see if I have more questions in writing. And then I know somebody else is gonna have questions about all kinds of things. Like I said, I'm not just trying, what kind of benefits available in a yellow flag evacuation? If it's a mandatory evacuation, hang on. If it's a mandatory evacuation, I lost my Zoom meeting. Hang on, you guys, I'm trying. I really am. This is ridiculous. There I am. I can see me now. I'm sorry, I must be affected by the altitude.
Certainly not by your side feet, you have an egg case.
All right, you guys, I don't want to consume our Widget's Way with the natural disaster, but the reality is it's a learning experience for some of us that aren't in the brunt of it. And we still are looking at winds throughout tomorrow. So this could be coming to other people's areas. Here's what I could tell you, okay? Don't play around with the Santa Ana winds. They're no joke. Fire moves quickly. You can't outbeat it, okay? Have a bug out bag ready to go. I have a box in my safe that says, take this. And it's full of all the insurance policies, all the birth certificates, all the social security cards, all of the, making sense to you guys? And then on top of that is all photo albums. I ran from fire a couple times. I've done it before. It sucks. You don't have time. You get maybe 3 seconds or 3 minutes and nothing else. So It's definitely not something you want to do, but be prepared for it. It could happen to any one of us at any time. Like I said, I was driving in San Bernardino yesterday, right down the freeway, and I was like, fire, fire, fire. All right, anybody else? And if you're unmuting yourself to talk, I may not be able to hear you, but so let me put my ear up closer. Anybody have anything? I'm having Starbucks. And it's pretty cold up here today. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. So we're looking at potentially a moratorium, freezing rent increases and evictions. We have AGLA that has jumped in full force and is helping with renting our vacant for us to the victims of the fires so that we're giving back to the community by providing housing to them. There's lots of food banks, there's lots of things going on. I think as more and more of this evolves and they start going through and assessing what we're dealing with, we'll have a lot more answers. So I'd love to tell you guys I have all the magic answers. I don't. If you really feel like you need to do something and you don't have a vacant unit, call AGLA. Call Dan, call the advisors. I'm sure they would take a donation of $100 to help somebody do something. But please remember, these are middle-class folks. They have insurance. They're going, and if they don't have insurance, that's who we need to go help. Let's find the people that have their insurance policies canceled and let's go help them. Okay? But the ones that are insured, I know they got displaced. It's inconvenient. Let's get them situated and let's focus on the people that don't have the ability to rebuild. Hold on. Auntie Pat has an opinion, so let me hear it. Go ahead.
People, if they really want to help,
If they really want
if
to
they
help,
really want to help, telling them not to buy furniture, what if they considered a 5% decrease in their rental for 3
I got you. I got you. So she is suggesting, hang on, somebody's trying to call me. Please don't call me during Widget's Way. She's suggesting that if you really want to help the victims of the fire, you may offer a rent decrease for the people that are in your property. Honestly, I get what she's saying and I'm with her, but here's the reality of that. The only reason you'd have to decrease their rent is if they lost their job. And if they lost their job, guess what? They're not paying any of the rent. And what I mean is they could have worked at the school that burned down. Playing along? Okay.
Patty, I have a question. So there
Yes.
was no electricity in the apartment for 72 hours, and naturally, all the food went to trash. Some people were lucky enough their freezers were okay. Are they entitled to some kind of credit?
Do they have renter's insurance? Because their renter's insurance.
Some of them do. Those
Their
that
renter's insurance would be covering their food loss. And if they don't have renter's insurance, then that's somebody, like I'm telling you, that's the people we need to help. Agreed? They just lost all their food. Make
yeah,
sense?
I hear you.
Okay, now you're understanding what I'm saying. When I say we need to help people, but we need to help the right people. Okay, you hear the movie stars, they lost everything and they're saying donate to the Red Cross. They're not asking you to put them in a hotel. None of these people are. Pay attention. This is a different natural disaster because it has affected the majority of people that are in the median income. There, let me put it a different way, and I think everybody would agree with me. If this fire was in Lakewood and Compton and Gardena and took out those neighborhoods, we'd be having a much different conversation, wouldn't we? Because we'd have all these people with no homes, no food, no cars, no jobs, right? Oh, yeah.
Patty,
Yes.
25 minutes ago, Governor Newsom has extended California's rent gouging protections in response to the firestorms in LA County. The governor's latest executive order issued today, January 16th, prohibits rent increases of more than 10% in LA County through March 8th, 2025. So that's different than what we were told. That's rent increases over 10%.
Okay, we're not doing any rent increases over 10% because of a state of emergency anyway. I don't
Right.
believe that email is correct in its entirety because it doesn't make sense. Why would you put a moratorium saying that you can't do rent increases over 10%? All you need to do is declare the state of emergency to expire on March 8th. Make sense?
Well, it
Does
says
that
that
make sense to you, what I said, though?
I understand, but I'm just telling you what it's saying on the news.
I got you. I'll go look it up, and if we need to have a widget way tomorrow, you guys are gonna get an email, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I have some people in a courthouse, and I got a feeling they filed a motion to stay a lockout, and I got a feeling it's gonna get stayed until this moratorium's over.
Patty,
Well-
I'm gonna copy this and send it to your email, okay?
Send it to me right away. Thanks, Becky.
Okay, thanks. Okay, bye.
All right, if anybody else needs anything, give me a call, let me know, okay? All right, everybody, you have a wonderful day, and I'm here if you need me. I'll look into the moratorium. The reason I'm saying what she's reading me doesn't make sense is look at it this way. Yes, we know we can't do rent increases over 10%. That's California Civil Code 396.2 regarding rental houses, okay? We can't do it. We can't, we know we can't. Why would they make a moratorium to say we can't? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all, because all they had to do was make the state of emergency expire on March 8th. So I'll look into it. I'll find the details. If we need to have an emergency widgets way on the moratorium update, I will notify you. If you've already sent rent increases and there is a rent freeze, you will need to rescind the notices. Okay? Bye, everybody. Have a great day. If you need me, call me. Bye.